Oh, Thomas York, you are a funny one. You are a funny one. And I like you for that. Oh, I'm like reading that comment as this whole thing is going on, and I'm just saying to myself, no, it has to work. I tested it. I spent an hour today trying to make sure that this dang thing would work. But I'm glad that you guys could hear it. Oh, thank God. What's going on, people? Oh man, I'm feeling really good right now. It's your bold pal SPJ here. Oh, I am back. It is SPJ Live. Welcome. I guess everything is kind of off and rolling and off to the races, as it were. You guys can hear the guitar all right. Hopefully you can hear my voice as well. I'm hoping, at the very least, I'm hoping that you can hear my voice. Awesome. I'm getting everything is going well. Awesome. I feel much better now. So I don't know 100% what has been going on with StreamYard. It seems like my record is every other time that I use StreamYard to do these live streams, whether it's been throughout this year or I believe I was on Ben's channel not too long ago, and everything seemed to work okay. But every time I've tried to do a stream and play the guitar at the same time, it doesn't happen. It just does not happen. And today I just said, you know what? I'm gonna make this thing work, and I'm gonna make it happen, and we're gonna be off to the races, and we're gonna be doing great. We got 8 people watching right now before we even hit minute 5. That feels really good. I'm so glad to have you all here tonight. Because we're actually doing something not just with the new camera setup, which again, big love and big shout outs to the wife who hooked it up this past Christmas and got me a little HDMI to USB converter so that I can use the very same camera that I use to shoot all my demos that you normally see here on the channel for the live streams, and we've got good audio rolling with the microphone. You guys can hear the guitar. Oh man, this is just this is shaping up to be pretty good already. So I'm feeling good. We got 10 people watching right now. That's awesome. But there is one thing that is a little bit different tonight and a little special. We're doing a little experiment tonight, and that is that I upgraded StreamYard, and we are experimenting with streaming not only to the YouTube channel, but I'm also streaming to my Facebook page, which is facebook.com/ I believe SeanPierceCEO, which is my old Instagram handle, something like that. So yeah, I'm feeling good. I'm enjoying this. I'm glad you guys are here. I do see some of our usual suspects, and I want to make sure that I say hello to everybody. Of course, Mr. Ben Coombs in the house, moderator to the stars, and a great YouTuber in his own right. Good to have you here, buddy. And of course, part of the trouble is here. You know who he is. It's Aaron from Albus Band. Good to have you here, buddy. Sassy Cat, how you doing, man? Good to see you here. Glad that you've been coming and hanging out and for some of the live streams. We've hung out a little bit with the 60 Cycle Hum crew, but I gotta give you props right here, Sassy Cat. You know what it's all about right there. That does my heart good. That does my heart good. Feels pretty good. Feels pretty good. And like I said, Thomas York, you're a funny one. You're a funny one. I started reading that comment. I'm just like, no! And then I saw, no, I'm kidding. And I'm, oh, thank God. So that's good. Janice Lala in the house. How you doing, Janice? Great to see you here. Terry's 3Gs is here as well. Good evening to you too, Terry. Let's see. Where are we here? Oh, thank you, Aaron. I really do appreciate that. I actually hear the guitar this week. It's a 2021 miracle. It really is. The only other miracle that we need to get right now in 2021 is for all this COVID crap to be over with. I am so done with not being around people that I care about and want to spend time around. Let's see. This is a good one. Sassy Cat with the bat strap. That's right. That's right. I don't know if you guys have gotten a chance to check out the full-on demo and review of this guitar yet, but that is now up on the channel. super proud of that video and how it turned out, the different sounds that I was able to get with this guitar. I shared a few of them on Instagram this past week, so you can have an idea of some of the things that you can do with this guitar, from the Hendrix spectrum all the way to the, so the classic rock spectrum all the way to like the more alternative kind of spectrum with something a little bit more like the Edge's sound. This guitar really has, it's worked itself very, very nicely into the fold. So I'm very excited to have this in the arsenal for the time being. Hopefully I'll actually be able to hold on to it. I hear your voice, but you're speaking Canadian for some reason. I'm speaking Canadian for some reason, eh? Show you what I show you something, you hoser, or something like that. I don't know. Everything I know about Canadian parlance is basically filtered through How I Met Your Mother. So that's all it is. I dig the ring. Yes. That right there, ladies and gentlemen. We'll talk about that in just a little bit. But is the calendar correct? I told you guys that the calendar was making a full-time return this year, and it does say February. Ever notice how we mispronounce that? February, not February. But what the hell, I don't know. Let's see. All right. Nice. I'm guessing we're talking about the new, I don't know what pedal we're talking about, but I'd love to know. Someone get that some split pea soup. Oh boy. Here we go. It's jokes in the chat, everybody. It's jokes in the chat. Daryl Braun has entered the chat. I don't really know quite where we're going with that one. Just make sure to apologize repeatedly. Man, you guys are onto something that I just have absolutely no idea what you're going after. So, whatever. Ah, yes. The EQD Astral Destiny. Yes, I agree. That's one LSD trip of a guitar pedal right there. So, totally with you on that, and totally understand where that sentiment is coming from. Oh man, what has happened in the last couple of weeks since I last saw you guys? Ah, yes, that's right, Aaron. Yes. Oh, sorry there. Well, let's see. Since virtual NAMM happened, what have I done? Well, I got called in to play at church again, so I did that last weekend. That ended up going really well. I didn't have to have emergency charts down on the floor with me, so that was nice. What else has been going on? Been trying to spend a lot of time just trying to figure out some stuff to do here on the channel, some new videos. Obviously, that little toy wrestling ring has something to do with it, because Stompbox SmackDown will be coming back this weekend, by the way. So I'm very excited about that, but I've also just been experimenting with some new ideas of presentation for videos here on the channel, like how to frame shots and how to record certain things. Basically just overall trying to improve in many, many different ways. So I've been really focused on that. I haven't done nearly as many like business emails as I normally would be doing at this time of year if this were a normal year, but this isn't a normal year. So that's one thing. But yeah, looking forward to all these new things that we've got going on. I'm super proud of the Strat video that I just finished up and put up on the channel. Scott Brockway, how you doing, my friend? Good to see you. Glad you could join us for a live stream. Hope you're having a good day. I don't recall seeing your name in the chat before. Maybe you've lurked here and there before, but If you're a lurker, you're welcome. If you're not a lurker, you're welcome. Everybody is welcome here in this universe. So that's that. So yeah, return to Stompbox SmackDown. Super, super excited about that. Had a lot of fun with that one this week. It's done. It's in the can. I got the video of the Hughes and Kettner Black Spirit 200 also coming out very soon. So I'm very, very excited about that. Man, what else can I say about what is going on right now? I am just looking forward to trying some new things. Looking forward to doing some new stuff. And hey, you know, we'll see how things go. Francisco Hartung, how you doing, buddy? Been playing the Reverb I bought from you. Killer stuff. Awesome, Francisco. I'm glad that Reverb is treating you well. Sassy Cat's asking if I tried that Reverb thing I suggested. Sassy, I have not had the chance to do it yet, and I didn't have the chance to do it last week, and I haven't had the chance to do it this week because I let a buddy of mine borrow the Mako R1. So once I get that back, I will try it, and I will make sure everybody knows what's going on there. Yeah, really enjoying having a Strat back in the arsenal. It's you know, it's one of those things you don't realize what you got until it's gone, and then when you get it back, you realize why you missed it so much. So, very exciting to have the Fender on board. Very excited to be working with them now. The guy that I'm in touch with there is very excited at the prospect of me working alongside Fender. And I don't really know what else to say. It's nice to it's just really nice to have that validation. And it's nice because with Fender, it's just been so out of my wheelhouse, as it were, for so long, that to be able to have someone from the company so enthusiastically embrace this very strange project. Well, it's not very strange. I think it's a worthwhile project to take on. But especially for a guy who has commonly associated himself with Gibson-style instruments, it's nice that they have... they're open to it. And it's nice that I'm starting to break down some of my preconceived notions, and they're willing to be a part of that and see how this whole thing evolves. So I'm really quite excited. Really quite excited. Oh, boy. Let's get this thing going. Because it's going to be a doozy tonight, ladies and gentlemen. I'll tell you what. If you're wondering what's on the rocket docket for tonight, got another bottle of the Stone Sublimely Self-Righteous Black IPA, which they brought back after a long, long hiatus away. And I am very excited about that. That's nice. When are you demoing the new Wah? It looks very cool with the phasal and the halo. Scott, you're getting ahead of me a little bit. We haven't quite talked about that yet, but I'm hoping. I do have a contact at Dunlop, and we did get some Dunlop brands on the channel last year. So I'm hoping, because the videos did perform so well last year, that Dunlop will want to jump on board for some demos this year. So I would really like to demo the new Crybaby. I know exactly the one that you're talking about, and we'll be talking about it tonight. So yeah, we'll see how things go. Francisco's asking, did you change the way you stream your guitar sounds? Nope. Didn't change anything really. It's the same setup as I've used previously. The only thing that's different now is because I'm actually able to hook a camera into the computer where my interface is plugged in, like more than half the time. Now I can get audio that's much more direct and less roomy. You know, it's not the computer microphone that you're listening to right now. So that's a big time help. So with that out of the way, one of the things that we did the last time I was live was it was virtual NAMM week, and I wanted to figure out with you guys whether or not virtual NAMM was even like necessary, whether virtual NAMM was something that we should really even consider having. And also because I wanted to give you candid reactions to it, I just did it right there with you guys. And we tried to see what some of the new gear being announced at this virtual NAMM thing was. Problem is, a lot of the companies didn't save their new gear announcements for NAMM. They actually ended up just announcing them the week before or the week of. They didn't actually wait for the event to actually happen. But interestingly enough, some companies waited until after Believe in Music Week to let people in on their new gear things. And we're going to talk about a few of them here tonight. I'm going to show them off to you, kind of react to them, give you my opinions on them, whether or not I feel like this is something that we could probably see on the channel in the near future, and really what my interest is in some of these things. Obviously, I have curated some of the selections just because they fit more within the wheelhouse of what this channel offers to all of you that are watching right now, and to any of you watching in the future or have just happened upon this. By the way, subscribe, notification bell, thumbs ups, people. Let's get that party train rolling. Let's really make this a good year for the channel. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to talk about some of these select few new pieces of gear. And we're going to just kind of have a cool little fireside gear chat. So grab yourself a nice little beverage, get cozy, and let's have some fun. Just a few more questions before I get going in. Sassy, did you see the tweet where Tama Tonga called the Good Brothers Festus and Mini Festus? Yeah, Sassy Cat, I did see that. All I can say about Tama right now is Tama ain't got no chill. He ain't got no chill. But you know what? He's one of Haku's sons, so there's bound to be some of that, oh my god, he's going to kill us all in him. So I don't know if I really want to be on Tama Tonga's bad side right now. Anyway. Francisco is saying in regards to Virtual NAMM, it was a good opportunity for small shops to show their product. Yeah, I definitely think that it's possible that Virtual NAMM was good for small companies to show off what they have, because obviously there's very little expense. But the one thing I will say about a lot of the smaller companies that showcase at NAMM is that they come to NAMM, they spend the money, they build momentum, but then there's all these other things that they can do afterward, like social media marketing, email marketing, all these other things that they can do already that's not NAMM to kind of help get their stuff out there. I think the best example I have of that right now is I've been getting ads like crazy for this company called Heather Brown Electronicals or something like that. And it's for her overdrive pedal called the Holy Mother, I believe. Haven't seen a demo. Haven't really had time to watch the demo of it. First time I'd ever heard of the company, but there she is, like targeting the marketing so that people can know her pedal, that can find out more information about her company. So she's doing something that you didn't even need to sign up for Virtual NAMM to do. But that's something that a lot of these smaller companies just don't leverage enough. They don't understand that NAMM is not the thing that's going to break or make your company. NAMM is the thing where you can showcase, yes, but you can just as easily showcase virtually through social media and ad placement. So it's something to think about for the future. I wasn't terribly impressed with virtual NAMM, so we'll just see how things go. With that in mind, let's go ahead and share the screen a little bit. Let's make that a little bigger. And let's talk about some of these new gear things. First and foremost, we need to give a hearty congratulations to friend of the channel, Mr. Tor Morgeson, formerly of TC Electronic, now with Universal Audio. This was basically what everybody thought Universal Audio was headed towards. Go away, pop-up ads. This is basically what everybody thought Universal Audio was heading towards when Tor came on board, I think it was 2 or 3 years ago, something like that. And here he is. 3 new effects pedals from Universal Audio. The Golden Reverberator, the Astra Modulation Machine, and the Starlight Echo Station. Now, one of the things that I love about these is, first off, I love the look. I love they're using these quasi... They kind of remind me of Marshall knobs. I'm actually looking at a knob very much like it because I have a Universal Audio 710 Twinfinity mic preamp here in my studio desk, and so it's one of the knobs that's on their gear. I believe they also have these knobs on the 1176s right now as well. I'm sure it's on other hardware too. But I just love the look of them. They're very much in that sort of retro futuristic thing that Universal Audio does really, really well. And what I think is great is that they've chosen the right 3 effects, in my personal opinion, to go after with their first offerings in the effects pedal world, that being reverb, delay, and modulation. One of the things that I think makes this such an appealing product choice is the plain and simple fact that Universal Audio's UAD plugins have quickly become an industry standard, to the point where their digital the analog counterparts of the digitals are, the difference is imperceptible. And with Tor and his background at CC, these were also, I believe, James Santiago, who, for those of you who don't know, is the guy behind Voodoo Lab. I think they were 2 of the guys who were really spearheading this push on this project. And basically, between their 2 sets of ears and their 2 sets of minds, basically, their 2 minds, I don't see how these are going to suck. In my opinion, these things are probably going to be amazing once I actually get them, into my hands, hopefully, and play around with them a bit. But from the sound samples that I have heard on the live stream that Universal Audio did to announce them, it's really cool that we're seeing these effects. And like it says, 60 years of analog tone at your feet, but there's going to be some digital in there. Yeah. So, live preset mode with silent switching true, buffered bypass and spillover trails. Additional downloadable guitar effects from world-renowned UAD algorithm team, which is something that's going to happen. Looks like you can... you know what? Let's go ahead and... why don't we pull this up? Let me know if you guys can hear that. Because I'll tell you, man, this... I don't necessarily need another reverb pedal, but this sounds really good. Got a little echoes going. Pink Floyd Echoes, that is. I mean, I don't see anything wrong with that. Spring, plate, and Hall, pretty classic stuff. The Starlight Echo machine has a Echoplex, Analog Deluxe Memory Man, and then some other probably more digital kind of thing. Pristine Studio digital delays. That's pretty cool. So there's that. And then the modulation machine. Now, this is the one. This is the one for me that this is the one that I want. Because I have been searching high and low for, can anybody hear me right now? Hello? 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 Can you guys hear me now? Hello? 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 Okay, Super Jet says that I can be heard. Okay. I'm trying to keep up with everything. Couldn't hear the video though. Okay. That's too bad. That sucks. Anyway. So, let's go ahead. This is the one that I'm most interested in. I have been for years looking for the perfect flanger, and the last flanger I had that I really, really loved was an MXR flanger. Now, why is that not my favorite right now? The reason it's not my favorite is because something happened to it over the course of me using it that basically just killed it. It was almost like it stayed static. So I would have to manually turn the knob in order for the waveform to, actually move. Not very conducive to, use, as it were. As it stands, what I love about the Astra is not only have they gone and done a chorus, a flanger, and a tremolo, but the flanger is modeling the MXR flanger doubler rack unit, which I have loved the sounds of for a very, very, very long time. So I'm really stoked on that. I'm really excited about that prospect of having that sound in a compact stomp box. And hopefully somebody from Universal Audio watching this right now will be like, hey, maybe we should send him some, because that would be cool. I know it was Scott who said that Andy's already demoed them, and yeah, they did sound great. They are also like $500, which was going to be my caveat with all of this. Let me go ahead and just click pre-order now. Okay, I'll pre-order now from Reverb. Let's see. There we go. Just gonna, see where it goes. There we go. Order now. I don't know who I'm going to be ordering it from. Chicago Music Exchange. Nothing wrong with that. So the Astra modulation machine, $400. Now that seems like a pretty steep price, but this is something that I actually really wanted to talk about because this has been basically everybody's bugaboo with these UAD pedals. So the UAD platform in and of itself is a pretty astounding piece of equipment in and of itself. UAD is a proprietary technology that Universal Audio has developed in order to allow people to use a lot of their plugins on their digital audio workstation and their digital recordings. Now, the way that most home recording studios are set up, Most of us are utilizing the processing power from our computers. That's why with my studio computer, I upgraded it out the wazoo to be able to have more processing power so that when I do mixes in Pro Tools, I'll be able to run more plugins at one point in time. UAD is essentially its own proprietary processor that allows for low latency monitoring and low latency use of the universal audio plugins. As a matter of fact, some of the older UAD products, before universal audio really got into recording interfaces with the Apollo stuff like that, you basically had satellite drives that allowed you the ability to use their plugins. And it was essentially just, you know, kind of a external processor, if you will. So we're essentially getting a lot of that technology and a lot of that, you know, just hyper audiophile grade algorithm design and technology in these pedals. That's technology that they had to take from one world and redevelop for another. Also, let's think about this. We love Tor. He's pedal Jesus, after all. Not quite sure how many of my church friends would really enjoy me saying that, but that's what people call him. That's what people call Tor. He's pedal Jesus. And so basically, let's think about that. Tor had been known, Tor was basically the face of TC Electronic. There's no arguing that. Tor was the man, and still is. It still is a fantastic person, and I love him to death. But you got to do a lot in order to get him to leave something that he's very good at and very comfortable with. The first thing that probably got him to move over to Universal Audio was this project in and of itself. But also, at the same time, Homeboy has a family. Homeboy has to buy food. Homeboy has to pay his bills. Homeboy's got to take care of what needs actually taken care of. You know, we see this debate right now with everybody being able to make a living wage. Bro, when you buy this stuff, I'm sorry, doesn't matter what the hell your politics are. It just is a fact. Companies that are worth their salt pay their employees the money to be able to live. That's all I can say about that, really. So, you know, that. And as Aaron is saying, he probably got tired of the Behringer bullshiz, just like our boy Stephen over at Pedal Zone. Hey, it's Alex Radford. How you doing, buddy? Good to see you. So, I'm excited about these. I think it's a great move. I think it's long overdue. And, you know, hey, Universal Audio, if any of you are out there or are watching right now and want somebody to, you know, demo these things that isn't Andy. I love Andy. We all love Andy. Everybody loves Andy. Who doesn't love Andy Martin? Call me up. I'm here. And I want the Astra. That's basically my spiel right there. So that's good. So now we're going to get to this. Now, this I find really strange. Not necessarily that Dunlop is releasing a new wah pedal. That's not what's strange. What's really strange to me is that Dunlop's release catalog for this year, this new year, is very small. It's not in any way actually like, I feel like Dunlop usually releases much more stuff than they do. And between this crybaby and the way huge Atreides, which is another one that I want, that's the only two pedals that are coming out from a Dunlop brand. Like there's no MXR stuff coming out. They're finally releasing the Flow gloss picks. I've had this since NAMM of last year. Scott from Dunlop actually gave this to me at the Pedal Builder Summit, and I've been playing it off and on ever since. I really like it. So there's that. But yeah, there's just not that much going on in terms of what Dunlop is doing. Hey, Simon DePaulo, how you doing? I have a bass amp that picks up local radio. Wow, that's impressive. I'm not even mad. That's just impressive. And I forgot to say hi to Laz. Hey, Laz, how you doing, buddy? Good to see you. Have a safe drive home. I know you're listening. I did see that comment earlier. But last year, we had more Wahs on the channel than I really ever thought would be on the channel in 1 year. And this one, limited edition Crybaby brings together the two most iconic Wah voices in history via the Halo Inductor and the Red Phasal Inductor for a broad and dynamic palette to expand your musical expression. $200, and you have a dual inductor Wah. Looks like, I think these are controls to adjust the high end is what it is. Let's see. Toggle between the two with the kick of a switch. I'm not quite sure how well this switch is going to be because this is the same kind of switch that was on the Dimebag Crybaby from Hell for the boost circuit. And after a couple years of switching that on and off, the button basically stopped working. So I don't know. Shape the sound of each inductor to meet the needs of just about any situation. Each has its own toe-down frequency control so you can balance them out or emphasize their natural qualities. You want the Red Phasal Inductor's clarity with smoother highs. Dial back the toe-down frequency for a super aggressive sound that cuts right through the mix. Crank it up. Likewise, give the Halo Inductor extra definition, or you can luxuriate in its rich, dark subtlety. If you're switching between guitars with different tonal profiles, then you can use the toe-down frequency control to maintain consistency. So the idea is really not that bad. It's actually quite a cool idea to be able to have a dual inductor Wah that you can switch between the two. You have two different sounds, and boom, there you go. I have no problems with it, and I love a good Crybaby. And so getting two different kind of sounds out of it is a really, really cool thing. I have a feeling that the toe down thing is very similar to the Jerry Cantrell Wahs. That had a very similar thing. And I also like this new take on the foot treadle. It's a little bit more hot rod, little not so, meh, as it were. Yeah, I like it. I think it's cool. Custom badass dual inductor edition Wah. Let's see. Input, output, 9-volt battery. There's your inductor switch right there. Controls. And yeah. It would be nice, though, if they would actually make the full-size Crybabies, like how they're making that new Crybaby Junior, with the flat bottom so that you can put it on, like, a normal pedal board and don't have to, like, stack up dual lock, kind of like that video that I did years ago that's taken off for some reason during this pandemic. It's really, really strange. And it's got LEDs on it, which is nice. So yeah, I'm quite into this, and I think it's really, really cool. The other thing, of course, we've seen videos already about it, the Atreides analog weirding module. What is the word that I'm looking for? I don't remember the word. I don't remember the word. But the coincidence that I started reading Dune right before this pedal came out is really funny to me. So I'm quite excited about that. And it's all kinds of messed up weirdness. And who doesn't love messed up weirdness? I know I do. Yeah, Ben, I've done the taking the feet off before, and the screw holes are still kind of an issue for me. I don't know. I just don't, especially for just not really. I lose the feet, and I like having the feet, personally. That's just my whole thing, I guess. But I'm so into this. It's got fuzz, it's got subs, it's got phase, it's got auto things. Man, I need this thing very quickly, and I need to have some fun with it. So the last two things before and I just want to acknowledge what Scott said, Dunlop and MXR have been killing it since they hired George. They really have, but they've been killing it for a while. You know, it's not just George that's doing a lot of this. Bob Cedro is another one of the engineers at Dunlop that he does a lot of the work on it as well. But I know that George has a very big presence within the Dunlop family. I think that he does a really great job with just about everything that Dunlop does these days. And it's just cool that with Way Huge, he's able to actually explore things again. I know recently, like last year, we saw that they released the Way Huge Smalls Swollen Pickle. We have a demo of that up on the channel if any of you want to check that out. And I loved that. But what I like is George getting the ability to try some new things out. The ringworm, ring modulator, expanding on the Aquapus, not just doing the reissue, but then building on that with the Echopus and the Supapus. I think that's kind of the thing that I really like to see. You know, expanding on the Saffron Squeeze, and this is just wholly original. And so I like the idea of George continuing to push his weirdness. So we're at 43 minutes right now. So let's get into the last couple things that I wanted to talk about in terms of new gear. This one hurts my feelings a little bit. All right, we're going to talk about the Boss and Sola Sound Tone Bender for reasons. One, the main reason is that this was the one pedal to come out this year that I actually would spend my own money on. I know a lot has been said about this, and a lot of people have complained about it since the project was announced. But to me, the idea of Boss, the #1 pedal company in the world, revolutionizing the pedal game with the compact pedal, partnering together with the originator of the fuzz pedal being Sola Sound, and by most people's account, the Tone Bender is one of the first fuzz pedals to really hit the market, and especially a Mark II Tone Bender. Everything about it just says, yes, Sean needs to have this. Well, I found myself up very, very late last night. Just no details, just I was up almost all night, and it wasn't fun. And so I had my phone out, and I'm looking at things, and I scroll through Instagram, and the Macari's Instagram says, hey, we have some of these, and they're up for pre-order. You can pre-order them now. Successively throughout the day, various different websites have put these up for pre-order. The price ended up actually being a price that I was okay with, like $350. Not amazing, but considering that a Tone Bender straight from Macari's is roughly starts at $400, means that $350 for a Boss-made Tone Bender is pretty good. And there's only going to be 3,000 of them in this batch. They're not certain if they're going to be able to make another batch, only if they can source those particular germanium transistors for this particular fuzz pedal. Well, everywhere I go now, they're sold out. Can't find a single listing for it. Can't find it anywhere. Guitar Center had it up for a while. It's gone. It hasn't gone up on Sweetwater. Anderton's sold out of their pre-orders. Macari's sold out of their pre-orders. American Musical Supply sold out of their pre-orders. Zounds, Z-Zounds, however you pronounce it, they sold out of their pre-orders. Basically anywhere that you can find it, it's gone. Which is pretty much what I was expecting to happen. My hope is that really what we're seeing is that the pre-orders are just a small portion of what they will eventually get in stock. And maybe we'll be able to see some when the pedals actually ship. Like they'll have a few more units for each store. Francisco is asking if I am afraid of scalpers on this one. I'm always afraid of scalpers when it comes to stuff like this. And especially with this. Yeah, Sassy Cat Musician's Friend sold out as well. I was afraid of the Bliss Factory sellout because Reverb didn't put a limit on how many people could buy. A lot of the places that I've seen having pre-orders for the Tone Bender, they are putting a limit of 1 per person, which is great. That's what everybody should be doing when it comes to limited edition stuff. So I'm a little upset. I could have probably gone ahead on Guitar Center and put in a pre-order since it was like, you know, maybe, you know, they don't charge you until it ships. So it's like, here's the info on your credit card. Yeah. But I like to consider myself I like to consider myself a responsible husband and a responsible partner. I respect my wife, and I respect the fact that we don't have all the money in the world for me to just blow on pedals. And as much as I wish I would have been able to just throw the credit card info onto my phone in the dead of night at 3 in the morning, I just don't do that. That's just not how I play the game. And so I just hoped, and if fate would have it that I would be able to have one, then it would be that way. But it just wasn't that way. I hope that when people get it, that they actually like it and that they keep it. I actually hope that if scalpers did intend to sell them, that when they get it, they like it so much they don't want to sell it. I hope that Boss, in their ability as Boss to be able to, you know, source parts like they're able to, are able to find more of the germanium transistors that work to make this Tone Bender sound like it sounds and be able to get the stamp of approval of the people who make the Tone Bender. So I love the idea, though. I love the project. I think it's great. I want to see more like this from Boss, and it seems like we might get more like this from Boss. So that's that. Hopefully, one day. Janice, I do have a local Guitar Center, but I don't feel like they'd be able to help me out very much. And there aren't any good small guitar shops near me, unfortunately. Oh boy. I don't want to know about what goes on in your household, Scott. He's a Mormon guitarist. Oh boy. Gonna have to move to Utah to do that. Francisco, I'm afraid scalpers don't give a single crap about the pedal itself. They just want the money. That's why they're scalpers. They don't care about what it actually is and what it actually means. They just care about what the return on their investment is and how much money they can make. And hey, it's free market, you know, whatever. But I got really upset earlier today because most of the spots that I had been seeing this up for pre-order, everything was in and around $300 to $350. Most of the US stores, you could pre-order it for $350. But I found a listing on American Musical Supply, and they have it listed for $500. And that really burned me up inside because it was like a retailer is inflating the price. I don't know whether they did that as a like diversion tactic, but I'm looking at the page right now and it's just, it makes me really upset that a retailer would do that. Are we still here? I think we're still here. Oh boy. For some reason that reloaded the page. Can anybody see me? Can you all hear me? Please send me signs that everything is okay. I'm going to assume that everything is okay. Okay, I see myself on there. That was so weird. I right-clicked. Unfortunately, I right-clicked on the mouse, and it reloaded the page. That was interesting. All right, so let me set up my share screen again. Thanks a lot. And we're going to go ahead and talk about this last thing, which I think is probably one of the stupidest things I've seen this year. And that is this DAddario XPND Expand pedal board. So the idea is that it is a telescoping pedal board that you can change the length of, or the width of. You can't actually do the depth. It's just you can make it longer. And I have so many feelings about how stupid this actually is. First also, let's just read some of this copy. Expand pedal boards are made to adapt to you, whether you choose the sleek single row of Expand 1 or the double row build of Expand 2. You can easily adjust the length to add, subtract, and rearrange pedals how you want, when you want. Backline Expand pedal board transport bags are available separately for both Expand 1 and 2, so you can keep your board safe on the go. No matter what size you set Expand to, the transporter bag's customizable partitions can adjust to create a uniquely snug and secure fit. First off, why the hell are the bags sold separately? Why are the bags sold separately? Even pedal trains come with either a gig bag or a hard case. But these bags are sold separately? Come on, DAddario. You're better than that. You're better than that. And that's really all the information they give you. And this is on DAddario's website. We could, I suppose, watch this video. But it's like, what does this video really show except a computer-generated graphic of how this board is supposed to work? And it's just a loop. Those aren't real pedals. That's not a real board. Maybe that last picture is. But there's so little information about this that it's kind of like, why would you bother announcing something when you have nothing to announce? Congratulations, you have a new pedal board that looks like a pedal train that you can make it longer. Just, huh? Huh? What? What is that? It's like DAddario makes some pretty good stuff. You know? If you like their strings, that's your opinion. I hate their strings personally. But some of the Planet Wave stuff is useful equipment. But this, it just feels like we took a pedal train and tried to figure out how we only had to make 2 sizes. I personally don't know how well it's going to work. Because here's my problem with it. When you put the pedals on it, how well is that going to balance? Because you have to have the expandable part be ever so slightly smaller than the main part so that it can telescope inside of the main part. When you pull it out, put your pedals down, lay everything flat. How well is it actually going to sit on the stage, on the floor? Is it going to rock back and forth a little bit? And not only that, the way that I see this picture is it doesn't really show you how it, I see these right here, like this is how it locks, but does it lock, can you expand it out infinitely? Like, will it slip? Or does it have little ridges that it will actually, you know, lock to? Can you freely move it, or can you move it in increments? Kind of like a knob on an amplifier with little detents. Like, how exactly is that going to work? And they don't show you. They don't tell you. You know, Francisco likes it. And hey, that's why all these products are made. And this is just my opinion. This is 100% my opinion. It's not your opinion. If anything, I hope that you guys, whenever you watch my stuff, you will be able to draw your own conclusions from it. We're all different people, and I don't take offense to people having different opinions or views on gear or really anything for that matter. It's not my life. But I'm with Sassy. I guess I'm at that age where I don't see the need for these. I guess that age for me is 33, because I don't see how this is like so revolutionary. And I suppose I wouldn't be so like passionate about it if I didn't read some of the other copy from some of the other websites about them talking like this thing is like, we've reinvented the pedal board. This isn't reinventing the pedal board. This idea has been done before. I'm pretty sure I've seen a Chinese company make telescoping pedal boards before, and nobody's calling them revolutionary. That's all I can say about that. Jay Steen, how you doing, buddy? Good to see you. I think I'd rather buy the right size board to start with. Exactly. And that's kind of the thing for me too, is it's just like there's room for so much error with this that I don't necessarily think that it's this as great as it probably should be. I don't know. Bag not included and probably costs $400. Yeah, right? So who knows? Sassy's asking, is this for the touring guitarist? You know, Sassy Cat, quite frankly, most touring guitar players I know would rather have their gear figured out before they set out on tour rather than trying to rework it during the middle of a tour. Personally, thinking back on the tours that I've done and what I've done prep-wise in order to actually, you know, get there before, you know, get the gear all sorted out, everything that I've done has been like, what is my template? What can I put on that template? I did one tour with this giant plywood board that was like, you know, 3 feet, 4 feet long and like a foot deep. I did one tour that was basically like the board was about this big. And what, you know, I just had to figure out the best possible way in order to put a rig together in order to make it work. And luckily, it's worked out great all the time because you do the homework before you go out on tour. In the rehearsals, you think about the set list that you're going to be playing, the sounds that you're going to need, and then you piece together a rig based off of that set list and what the tour is going to allow you to transport. It just so happened that the last major tour that I went on, I was able to put together a rig that was very, very simple to put together. And I was actually able to get away with having only, let's see, I want to say I had only 6 pedals maximum on the board. And that was 6 pedals, including a foot switch for my amplifier. So, you know, it's not like it can't be done. It's not like it can't be done. Janice is saying, who's touring? Well, we're eventually going to get back to touring, but we'll just see how things go. Trouble is here, ladies and gentlemen. Quentin James is in the house. Everybody run! How you doing, buddy? Good to see you. He used a TS9, a Crybaby, and an SPX90 for 1 delay setting. Really? SPX90? 1 delay setting? Really? You do you, man. You do you. Well, some people have started with few pedals, then added more, then reduced the size. I think I would somehow be convenient to have it for people like me whose sound are still evolving. Oh, you know, I definitely agree with you, Francisco. Like my sound is always evolving. Absolutely. I think the thing for me, though, is what I enjoy about just, I suppose it's the challenge, but it's also the ability to see what can I get away with in a certain amount of space. What I've recently found myself gravitating towards a lot, as a matter of fact, I can take into account my recent praise and worship rigs that I've had to put together. The majority of those boards are all gain stages and reverbs. I barely have any modulation on it. I have a chorus pedal. The rest of the pedals are a compressor, 3 levels of overdrive, a tube screamer, a Vox style distortion, and a what else is there? I have one of the Rev pedals on there, the Rev G4, the red one, so for like a higher gain, full range distortion sound. 2 delay pedals, Mako D1, Keeley Echoes, and 3 reverb pedals. And that's pretty much it. So that's very different for me because I've always been a guy where it's like, I want my chorus, I want my flanger, and I want my phaser on there. And I just want a good solid delay, and I only really maybe need a reverb. But in the context of how I've been using this particular rig, I use more reverb than anything. So my sound has evolved quite a bit playing in this new context, but I haven't felt the need to. I've used the same Waggy pedal board that I've used as my main pedal board for the last 3 years, which I believe is the W32, I think. It's the mid-size model. It's not the largest size that Waggy makes, but I love it, and it's the best one for me. You know, I have no problems with it. But and that kind of builds off of this too as well. You know, I wouldn't even say that I'm settled on the board that I've made. I'm hardly ever settled on the boards that I make. But I find that even the board in and of itself, still, no matter what, I can fit everything that I need on that particular platform. I don't really need anything bigger than that. I guess the big thing is really just in practice, is this going to be as good as they say it is? I'm inclined to be kind of skeptical about that. And that's really all. Love you too, buddy. So yeah, it's an interesting thing, you know, like NAMM was canceled this year. We're probably not going to have summer NAMM. I'm not holding out hope for it, at least. It's just kind of interesting how companies are gravitating towards these pre-NAMM time and post-NAMM time release dates for their new products. I think what we've seen this year is not necessarily that companies have used the pandemic time to develop new stuff necessarily. Walrus certainly with their releases, which, by the way, I do want to say, I will have a demo of that amp cab sim pedal that they put out soon. Unfortunately, I had to send it back to Walrus. They informed me that there was a hardware issue with it, that with guitars with hotter pickups, it would clip. And I didn't notice that in my initial testings, but once I put it under the microscope of recording and listening back to the audio, I did notice the issue. I sent it back. Hopefully they'll be sending that back to me tomorrow, maybe Saturday, sometime early next week. Whatever, we will have a video of it. It will be coming. Just wanted to make sure that you guys knew what the deal with that was. You know, they did a good job, and they especially did a good job yet last year. They released more new stuff than I really anticipated them releasing. And other companies have used the time to develop new stuff as well. But I think for a lot of companies, the new challenge is just making sure that their workforce is taken care of. And I think right now we need to worry about taking care of each other more than we really need to worry about new stuff. So we'll see how it goes, you know? But it is interesting that companies have plowed forward. They've put out new stuff. I think there's been some exciting new gear releases. I think there's been some not so exciting new gear releases. And it really doesn't feel that much different than any normal year, because that's usually the case. But I still think that our little pedal world is in a good place. I think that we're in for a very interesting year once we all get better footing with figuring out how to navigate the pandemic as vaccines roll out, and, you know, hopefully the virus is mitigated a little bit and we can start getting things back to more of a sense of normalcy. We're going to start seeing some new stuff. I would hazard a guess that we'll be more likely to see newer product further into the year than right now. So all I guess I can say is the best thing for us to do is to be patient, be expectant, and to be excited when these things come out. I know the new gear was a big thing for me in 2020. Every time a company would hit me up and say, hey, we got something new we want to send you. Are you in? And I would be able to say, I'm in. That package arrives. I open it up, and there's this new thing that I get excited to show you guys. And that was a big part of helping me keep my head. That was a big part of helping me drive forward. It was finding new things to get excited about, but it was also being reaffirmed of the work that I was doing. So, Sassy is saying Summer NAMM then. I'm not going to say Summer NAMM. I'm going to say Summer NAMM time. Summer NAMM time. Because I'm not convinced that we'll have Summer NAMM. And even if we did, I probably would not be going. That's a completely separate issue. But yeah, I think we just need to be patient, be expectant, and when the new stuff arrives, we need to be excited about it, and we need to celebrate it. And I'm hoping a lot of you all watching either right now live, watching in the future, those of you lurking in the chat, those of you that participate in the chat, you will come along for the ride as well, and we're going to have a good time. I think 2021 is going to be a really good year here on the channel. The vibe all over in the last couple of weeks has just been really solid, really having a lot of fun putting these videos together for you guys, which is something that I really can't say that was very common in 2020. It was really challenging to get through some of the videos that I did in 2020. But I'm really happy with what I've been putting out lately. And who knows what's going to happen. I'm excited for it. I don't know what the FFX boost pedal is, Sassy Cat. I will look that up later on. But Mark Shields is in the house. How you doing, buddy? He likes the shirt. Thank you very much. It's been a while since I've busted out the Bullet Club shirt, but recent events kind of made it seem appropriate to rep the BC at least once on the live show this year. So with that said, friends, thank you so much for joining me for this week's SPJ Live. Again, just to remind you guys that SPJ Live is now going to be first and third Thursdays of every month this year. Kind of dial it back a little bit because I just need that extra little bit of time. But hopefully that will allow the live shows to get a little better. Share this with your friends. Make sure that you click the subscribe button, ring the notification bell, give it a thumbs up. If you see a video on the channel that you really, really enjoy, share a link of it with a guitar playing friend or friends of yours. Bring more people into this community, help it grow, help it become a great place. This is going to be a good year. I've got a really good feeling about it. Thank you all so much for joining. I will see you all in a couple weeks. Same bat time, same bat channel, right here for SPJ Live. And until next time, my friends, I'm SeanPierceJohnson, wishing you all out there great tone, great health, and of course, the happiest of stompings. Cheers, friends. I'll see you next time. God bless.